Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to BvG. This is part 2 of our fast food bracket, and I think we're just gonna hop right into it, right?
Oh yeah, let's get the deliciousness rolling.
Okay, let's do it. KFC versus Panera. Call it.
Heads.
All right, Atlanta came up tails.
Okay, so I have to do KFC because I wanted Panera.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do it. Okay,
That's how it's gonna work.
That's how it's gonna go. Let's go.
All right, let's do this thing. Alrighty. So, for those of you that may recall, like we said, we're in our second bracket. One of the best points about KFC was given to us by Carver when we first squared off against Checkers. KFC is a meal. It is a hearty, delicious meal that feeds not just one person, but a family for a price that is, dare I say, unbeatable when it comes to delicious fried chickens with all of its secret sauces, spices, and recipes. So, compared to Panera, while the food side by side, you could say that, oh, well, Panera is healthier for you. Sure, it is. But you're not going to get near the quantity that you're going to get for the price of KFC. On top of the fact that KFC, yeah, you might have a heart attack after you have their chicken with their mashed potatoes and their fried taters and their corn bowl, but you're going to be filled. So is everybody else in your house, and then you can all have a heart attack together.
Thanks for making it much easier for me. So you heard it here, folks. KFC kills you.
But you'll be full.
Yeah, full.
You'll be full, and you won't have spent a lot of money. So you'll have plenty to leave. You have plenty of money to leave behind.
Yeah, right, your will. So, unlike KFC, which is full of a bunch of greasy chicken creatures, we're not even sure if it's chicken. Let's be real here. And they're pig corn bowls where people just shove their snouts and eat it. Let's go to Panera Bread. Let's go to a place that's a bit more sophisticated. Oh my gosh, you go in there and you got booths and chairs and tables and you can walk up.
Wait a minute, hang on. Booths and chairs and tables. That's what makes Panera better than KFC. KFC invented the booth game.
No, they did not. Let me continue. You walk up to the register. Like, let's say you're in a KFC. You walk into the KFC register. You're like, Bob, bing a dong. I'm gonna order me a fried chicken, dunk it in a potato gravy, and then choke on it. Versus Panera, you walk in there, they're like, yes, we just finished scrubbing down the counter. Can I get you a nice hot bowl of soup and a nice piece of warm bread and possibly a nice deli sandwich or salad? And this is all going to be at a very reasonable cost. You can sit down, everything's clean and proper. There's some young lady reading a Mark Twain story in the corner. Some other person is just literally giving a hug to their grandmother. They just reconnected while sharing a nice cup of coffee at the Panera Bread. Those are beautiful sights of humanity that Panera Bread can help facilitate. KFC, I mean, I've seen divorces go down at KFC. I've seen gunfights like in the old Western films. Like, it's terrifying. And above all else, you got these concoctions where it's like, welcome to our chicken potato cornball bowl. And it's like this poor chicken mutated to grow potatoes off its body. Like, let's be real here.
I am being real. And the people you find at KFC are real. The people at a Panera are pandering. Emphasis of pan. They are reading that Mark Twain novel just to try to look cool and be noticed. At KFC, people are real with each other. It's real relationships happening. It is real world versus road rules at KFC, my friend.
Road rules, yeah. Roadhouse. Oh, honestly, though, let's get to the actual discussion.
The actual food.
So, I mean, legitimately, I like Panera because it does have a pretty broad variety of there are soups and you can get a loaf of bread. You can get some nice sandwiches, a variety of them with turkey, ham, melts, and not melts, but grilled cheeses. And I feel like it offers a broad variety as far as the chain stores go across the country, where it's Panera, I can sit down, it's going to be cleaner. It's kind of a pseudo fast food restaurant where it's got a higher standard. It costs a bit more. That's a thing. KFC is cheaper, but at the same time, I think KFC is greasy and it's home cooking, which it can be great. But KFC, I feel like, they're just okay at it. versus Panera, where it's like you can really dig your teeth into a nice meal that's healthy and got good quality ingredients. Not like top tier, but as far as chains go, pretty good, pretty damn consistent.
I mean, yeah, Panera is definitely more health conscious. You walk in there, you probably do feel a bit cleaner. The air is not stagnant with, the ghosts of chickens and thick of gravy. But KFC, I mean, you said it's like, oh, it's home cooking, blah, 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 and it's only okay. It's like, well, it's not really true. KFC, I think across the board, KFC chicken is very good. Like, it's not good.
Do you actually believe that, though?
Yeah, my parents used to buy us the KFC bucket, that classic,
wow,
that classic 90s bucket of drumsticks with all that stuff, all the good extras, that with the biscuits, the gravy, the mashed potatoes. We used to do that like once a week. It was like the treat because, KFC just tastes really good.
Scott, I got to pause you. I mean, you're literally eating food out of a bucket. How does that feel right? Come get your bucket food. Eat it, you sloven pigs. And versus Panera, you're walking in there. You just finished reading a Shakespearean play. You have a sip of coffee.
No, I'm sorry. We're sticking to food here. Get your Shakespeare out of this place. We already talked about those people reading Shakespeare at Panera. They are not actually reading it. They're creeping over the top of that book, just staring to see who's looking at them. Yes.
Be that as it
yes,
may,
they
Scott.
are.
All right, but genuinely though, are you knuckling up for KFC where you truly think that it can, like, I guess we'll play devil's advocate right now. I think KFC is, it's if I'm being 100% genuine, I'm like, oh, it's decent chicken. It's, they got some really weird concoctions. They got some mashed potatoes and biscuits, but I still think there are other restaurants like Popeyes that do it much better, where KFC is like, yeah, it's okay. But Panera, I think, is one of the most unique picks on this list. And they truly do have a broad variety. Nothing else really offers what they offer with the soups and sandwiches and bread and salads. And it's a decent price. And it's like, I mean, I can go there and I'm like, okay, I'll get a decent meal. I'll get a solid meal that won't break my wallet compared to going to another like local sit down place, which will taste better most likely, but also be like possibly $10 more. So I think
that's fair.
The price is right with the quality that you get.
I think that's fair. I think you can make that same argument, price versus quality for KFC, because it is lower. And again, I still think their chicken is delicious. But being honest, since we are, doing that, given the choice of where am I about to walk in today to go eat, I would walk into the Panera.
Yeah, there you go. Panera.
They do have a higher selection because it is basically just with KFC. The only thing that they have that stands strong is their recipe for chicken. It does taste very good, but then their variety is just how many different ways can they stuff chicken into a different receptacle. Yeah. It's like, have it in a bowl, have it on a plate, have it in a cup, throw some corn in it.
There's some corn, some cheese. Let's get some corn, cheese, chicken. All right, Panera advances. All right, next round. Yep. All right,
I'm gonna get tails.
Came up tails.
All right, I get DQ. Yes.
All right, dang it, Burger King. All right.
Oh yeah.
Burger King makes a pretty good char grilled burger, and they got chicken fries. All right, your turn.
Okay, so I got to argue Dairy Queen the last time, and Dairy Queen is just so good. You think mostly just about their desserts when you think Dairy Queen. The name dairy implies that. But the thing is that, especially, I mean, you wave desserts, the dessert banner over Burger King, and everybody's going to go to Dairy Queen over Burger King for desserts. There's no contest there. Like, if we're just talking that alone, Dairy Queen wins. Because I don't even know what they serve for dessert at Burger King.
Don't they do? I think they had, like, not Frosties like Wendy's, but like movie slushies once. I remember they come get your like Pepsi slushie or something like that.
Yeah, maybe they had that, but I'm like, the fact that they don't have it now just means it failed. I think they still have it. They have like those right now. It says it's the scary black cherry Fanta, frozen Fanta at Burger King. Yeah.
They got those slushies. That looks like tar.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. I'll post an
That's
image. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh yeah, let me see it.
It's like tar.
Oh.
It's like asphalt.
Oh gosh, that looks like a big old cup of old coffee grounds.
It does. Yeah. I'll be real with
Gross.
you.
Even the cup is ugly.
The only thing, so I do think Burger King's entrees for the hot food are better than Dairy Queen. Because I think a Whopper tastes better than a Dairy Queen burger. I think Burger King's fries are just a little bit better than Dairy Queen's fries. And I think also Burger King's got a bit more of a leg up with like their specialties with like chicken fries. That being said, Dairy Queen's dessert is almost unrivaled in the industry, where it's like good luck.
Yeah.
It means Dairy Queen. Come on. So
yeah.
I'm willing to yield
She's
this
the
one
queen
to
for
you,
a reason.
to be honest. I can't get conscious fight for this one.
Okay, I'll take that yield. I can continue to argue the hot side because I personally think the hot Dairy Queen food is actually quite good. But if you're willing to yield, then I don't need to make that argument.
Save it for the next round. All right.
Yeah, let's start to really hate each other.
Firehouse versus Steak and Shake. Ready?
Yeah, heads.
Came up heads.
Oh, yes, Firehouse. Yeah.
All right. Fire away. No pun intended.
Huh. Firehouse subs. Just probably one of the most wonderful subs you can get. I'm going to leave their volunteering advocacy of getting firefighters money on the side table here. Just talking about straight food. Their Italian sub, the hook and ladder, their vegetable sub, like everything about it, just everything about all of those tastes so fresh. Wonderfully toasted bread. You don't feel bad after you've had a Firehouse sub. I've walked out of plenty of other sub restaurants, and even Steak and Shakes where
they're subpar.
They're subpar. I didn't even catch that one right away. Well said. Well said. No, but it's one of those things where it's like you walk out of there and you just know you made a mistake. You just know that I shouldn't have done that to myself. Or you walk out of there and even if your stomach isn't hurting or something, like you just kind of feel, I don't know. I literally have felt greasy after I've walked out of places. Like you leave a Subway and you smell like Subway for like a week. I can smell
That's
Subway
true.
after I leave Subway and I won't even have a sandwich in my car. Firehouse subs, absolutely not. Their sandwich, they are more like a fine delicatessen than
Dude,
just
you just busted out the word delicatessen like that, man.
Yes, I did.
Coming and swinging.
That's right. And Firehouse just does it, man. Like they make a fantastic sandwich. They don't have your French fries. They don't have your milkshake that I recall. If they have, I haven't had it. They are, when it comes to Steak and Shake, like they don't really share much of anything with Steak and Shake. But out of sheer quality of food, meets price, meets just all around, like, how am I going to feel what's my emotional status after I've left this place? Firehouse subs every time.
Word. So, Steak and Shake, I think what I would give it props is like, okay, this is a restaurant that's got more variety than Firehouse, where it's like you can get some different side dishes. It's also like, they're both sit-down places, though Steak and Shake actually has a waiter. I can't recall. Do you tip the waiter at Steak and Shake? I think you do. So, I think, or should.
Maybe you don't.
But like, okay, I give props to Steak and Shake for actually having good steak burgers. I think they're good. They're not like mind blowing. I'm like, whoa, that is changing my life. Because you've been there. I mean, you've been. Yeah. I feel like we can relate to when you go to a restaurant and you actually have something that is like a good representation of like, that's a good taco, that's a good burger, that's a really good sandwich. And for Steak and Shake, it's like their steak burgers. I'm like, that was solid. I'm sure I can get something better at a local place or a higher star restaurant, but all things considered, not bad. A lot of variety with the milkshakes, and they're good milkshakes. They're really creamy and tasty. And they're, I think they're made with a milkshake blender, like legit. And their fries are, man, they're some of the worst in the fast food industry, in my opinion.
Oh, cardboard.
Yeah, the little like skinny fries that taste like corn pellets or packing pellets or whatever. But
packing peanuts.
There you go. But I that's all I can really say with Steak and Shake. I mean, it's cool to have someone serving you. You have to pay for a tip though, most likely. So it's going to be a bit more.
Some people do.
Some people do. Some people don't. I remember flashbacks to high school, and you, me, and Tyler and Seth would go to Steak and Shake, and I remember leaving tips. But I could say that like Steak and Shake, it's solid. I give it a low to mid range B, like maybe like a 81 or an 80 on the grading scale.
Wow. I think that's a fair rating. It's just also like, ouch.
Firehouse, I mean, to go back to that one, like they make amazing sandwiches. That is what they're good at, and they focus on it the same way that In-N-Out focused on burgers. But yeah, I would give it to Firehouse over Steak and Shake, because I think Firehouse is just what they offer, what they're the best at. They are better at than what Steak and Shake's the best at, if it makes any sense.
They are better at than what Steak and Shake is the best at, meaning sandwiches? As
in Firehouse. So Firehouse, their sandwiches are what they should. That's what they should be good at, and they're very good. Steak and Shake, they should be very good at milkshakes and steak burgers. And I'm like, they're okay steak burgers. Milkshakes are above average, but I've had better. So yeah, Firehouse, I give it to Firehouse.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And honestly, I will say this thing I will say one thing that they do have in common, both places would have in common, is that they both have employees. I've never been to a Steak and Shake, even though you do get sit-down service, where I felt at the end of that service like I should tip the employee. Like I always do, because I've been in service, and it's like, you should always tip. I mean, except for that story you shared in the last episode about Steak and Shake, I would not have tipped that guy. But I'm of the mind, like, you always tip, and I always tip generously because I've had to do that job. Steak and Shake employees always look so miserable to me, and I'm like, if the employees are having a terrible time, I don't know if I'm going to have that much better of a time.
True. Well said. All right, next round is Del Taco versus Jersey Mike's. I want to take Jersey Mike's, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. Because
you fought for Del Taco last time, so I want to see.
I did fight for Del Taco over Papa John's, and I believe I won for good reason. This one's gonna be tougher.
All right, let's do it. All right, ready?
Okay.
All right, fire away. Let's go.
Del Taco, Spanish for of the taco, is granted.
Of the taco, my favorite.
It's not nearly as well known as Taco Bell. It is not your, well, actually, down here, this is your late night college student Thirsty Thursday meal for sure. Because Del Taco, the only one I know of, is right next to a college campus. So I'm sure they're doing really well. And frankly, I think their food side by side to Taco Bell is very good. So I feel like ultimately I'm arguing almost for the same place. So Del Taco, the tacos are great. The price is amazing. Like they're not the place you go to when you're not drunk, I think. But the thing is, it's like when you're in that right state of mind, when you're in that mood for Taco Bell or of the taco, or even, I mean, I'm throwing Wendy's in there, not to argue Wendy's right now, but it's like, it's one of those things, like the late night, super late, where the heck are we going to go? I need food kind of run. Del Taco is in that list, and they never fail to satisfy. I think like that's what you want when you're in that zone, when you need a study break at the middle of the night for final exams. Like, you go to Del Taco, you get yourself like 3 tacos for $1 or whatever the price is now, and you re-energize. You get yourself a soda or something, whatever you need, and then you just go back and hit the books, and you ace your exam, you graduate college, and you can thank Del Taco for it.
Scott, I think you're just lying. Just full of deceit. Okay. I see Del Taco as a step down from Taco Bell. And Taco Bell's already been knocked down off of this list, so that should tell you something. So
it should tell you that it is not a step down, in fact.
Okay, I will say this with all legitimacy. Jersey Mike's, at least the one that I go to, has some of the best service I've ever had with a restaurant. And they go the extra mile. They're very engaging and kind and pleasant. And let's be real, the customer service industry can be really stupid at times and be a drag. We've been there. But like I've never seen anybody who was unpleasant at that Jersey Mike's before. And they they'll give me free food sometimes. Like no joke, a few days ago I ordered through DoorDash a salad, and they knew it was my order, and they gave me some extra turkey on the side to give to my dog. And I'm like, yo, that's cool. Now that being said, that's one location, so I'm not sure about across the board. But as far as like seeing the menu, so I've eaten at Jersey Mike's in like near DC, and even then I'm like, this is consistent. Like this is a really good sandwich, good turkey sandwich with nice sliced up like turkey. It costs more than Subway, but I think that is worth the cost
because every time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because like
Subway's terrible.
It is. It's cheap, but that's its advantage. It's a very affordable place. But at the same time, like if you want better ingredients and quality, then go to Jersey Mike's or go to Firehouse. And Jersey Mike's has those kettle chips that are really good. It's got a nice soda fountain. It's got those brownies, those really big chocolatey brownies and cookies. But also they're hot subs. Like they got that skillet in the back, and they're like putting together like Philly cheesesteaks and those big Kahuna oh gosh. Oh good gracious. It escapes me the name of the exact sandwich. But they got some really good hot subs. And I've never left a Jersey Mike's upset. I've always been like, that was incredibly good. So I think Del Taco is just meh, like below average Mexican American food. And it's not really worth a damn compared to Jersey Mike's, where it's like, nope, these guys are quality across the board, but they don't break your wallet.
Yeah, I'm gonna concede like immediately to that. Like
sit
Jersey
down.
Mike's, Jersey Mike's is very good. Del Taco, I mean, I'm not even gonna say what it's a step up from, step down from. Doesn't really matter. It stands alone. It's it is known. It's what you pay for. You know what you mean? Like I said, my argument was kind of tough to work with in comparison because I'm like, yeah, Jersey Mike's subs do taste better than a Del Taco, but when it's what you want, nothing will satisfy quite like that taco. But you have to be like in that mindset to already really want it, and then nothing else will sound good. And that's just the Del Taco way.
The Del Taco way.
Yes. So yes, I concede. Jersey Mike's compared to Del Taco, like again, I basically would just, if I was standing in front of these two restaurants and needed to pick somewhere to eat, I would choose Jersey Mike's.
Boom. There you go. All right. Next we got Chick-fil-A versus Which. All right. Ready?
Yep. Going heads on this one.
You got it.
Yes, Chick-fil-A.
All right. Let's go. I'm getting sandwich shops today.
You are. Yeah. The only one I've managed was Firehouse.
Well, that means that's 1 and 1. Never mind. Well, no, it's 1 and 2. All right. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Chick-fil-A. Just a heartwarming establishment. We've discussed this in the last episode that Chick-fil-A is, at least for you and I, Carver, it is like home base when it comes to like really good fast food with memories and great. I mean, arguably, I went to Chick-fil-A this morning. Or not. That's not the part that's arguably, but arguably some of the best service. You gave Jersey Mike's like that award of like some of the best service you've ever had. In that particular Jersey Mike's, that sounds amazing. I'm not gonna lie. That's a step above. But Chick-fil-A across the board, I have never had more consistent, excellent service than at a Chick-fil-A. Like,
you're right.
Though, like they are. I've never been to Chick-fil-A where somebody was mean ever. They're always so nice. Every time I go through the drive-thru, they're overly polite, which I love because that's my style. I want to be basically sitting in a throne in my vehicle in that drive-thru, and they are groveling to me to buy their chicken.
I've never seen a rude Chick-fil-A worker ever.
And their chicken, like the whatever oils they use, I want to say I think it's a peanut oil.
It's peanut. It's peanut. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sure it's peanut oil. Like the way they bread the chicken is just so delicious. The oil tastes fantastic. It doesn't feel too greasy. You don't feel oily after you eat it. Like everything about Chick-fil-A, from the chicken sandwich from their breakfast to their lunch to their dinner and their lunch are kind of the same thing. But I even had one of their take-home meal kits. Like we bought the chicken Parmesan meal kit and brought it home, and I made that.
They had that?
They do, and I checked it out. So that's like their actual like dinner for two. It costs maybe $14-15 for a really nice chicken Parmesan dinner for two that they give you everything for it. Like you basically just reheat it because some of the stuff is cold at the time, so that way it doesn't go bad. It took me 20 minutes to heat this up in the stove.
Damn.
And it was fantastic.
So
like, it was so good.
Something that I feel like a lot of people don't understand, because like, okay, I have to sound pretentious. There's a Chick-fil-A fan, and then there are Georgian Chick-fil-A fans. There's a difference. There's a difference. True. There's genuinely a difference. I know it sounds pretentious as all get out, and I acknowledge that, but it's true. Georgians worship Chick-fil-A. Now, I'm going to put to the side the politics, because like, obviously there's some questionable stuff, and some folks don't agree with it. You know, I hear you. But if we're putting that to the side, just talk about the food, which is what they're there for. Like, they're pretty unrivaled when it comes to good food, variety, quality ingredients, very good customer service, and also there's an ace up their sleeve where if you're like, okay, this other restaurant's getting pretty, I feel like I'm going to spoil the rest of the you know what? Nah, I'll save it. If you don't mention it, I'll mention it when we get to the ultimate like throwdown with Chick-fil-A. Because right now, I'll go ahead and say that I think Chick-fil-A should advance. Because Which is a solid sandwich shop. They got some good variety. It's kind of like Jersey Mike's in a lot of ways, with like, a cool. You were the one who said in the last round that they've got good energy, where they're kind of like chilled out, cool. Like, yeah, draw on your bags. We're kind of just chill here, having ourselves a good time, and here's your sandwich, and you draw on some more. And I think that's cool energy. And I also like that they've got great milkshakes. But that all being said, like, it's a good sandwich shop, not Jersey Mike's good. I'd say maybe neck and neck with Firehouse. Better than Subway, absolutely. But, I mean, it's Chick-fil-A. Like, you're not going to beat Chick-fil-A. They just are, they in so many categories where it matters the most, Chick-fil-A almost, like, aces it. And it's like, wow. Like, if you took away the politics stuff that's going on, then I swear that the entire country would be like, no, Chick-fil-A is unanimously the greatest restaurant in the country. Yeah. But there's some rivals, though. Yeah,
but like, it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, every part of it for every part of the day. You could literally eat Chick-fil-A for every meal, and it's delicious every time. And honestly, which you said, which has surprisingly good milkshakes. I did not expect them to have a good milkshake. It's not as good as Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A milkshakes are superior.
Yeah, I agree. And they got variety too, where it's like, we're gonna bust out the peach milkshake today, and it's like, what?
Oh my gosh, have you ever had one of those?
Oh, Scott, yes, I have.
Okay, I wanted to make sure because I didn't think I'd like it, and then when I was working with a band several years ago, and we actually played a concert in the parking lot of a Chick-fil-A. Like, the Chick-fil-A hired us. The particular one, it was in Texas. And while we were there, we got free Chick-fil-A all day long, whatever we wanted.
Bro.
And I mean, it was, I was in heaven. Like, and that was the day I had a peach milkshake, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. I'll have 2 more after this.
That's another thing that I might dust off for Chick-fil-A later here as a discussion is, well, I'm putting it out there so we don't forget, but like, they're really good with working with the community. Where it's like we're going to give back. Like, I remember, this isn't the exact same thing, but I went to a golf tournament with my dad one time in Town Lake, and it was like a Shiloh Hills thing. That's my old school, folks, that Scott and I used to go to. Well, the little golf tournament, because it was like this. There was a guy who worked at the school. He unfortunately passed away to cancer, and they had a golf like tournament to honor his memory and raise money for cancer stuff or cancer research. And I remember going there in the morning, and we're getting assigned to our golf carts, and my dad and I would walk past these like coolers that are there to insulate the heat, and they all have like a bunch of chicken biscuits from Chick-fil-A. And my dad and I'd be like, we're gonna grab 5 each. Like we're gonna be eating on these for the rest of the day. Like, because I mean, like chicken biscuits from Chick-fil-A, like wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, Chick-fil-A advances.
Absolutely, 100%. Chick-fil-A just advanced the crap out of it.
This is a bit of an odd round here. Church's chicken versus Little Caesars. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna go heads again.
You got it.
I'm gonna argue Little Caesars on this one, not because I think I'm gonna win, but because I don't feel that after I gave so much to Chick-fil-A that I cannot argue for Church's chicken.
All right, let's do this. This is gonna become an odd round. So Church's chicken, I've been there like twice, and because there was a Church's chicken that was across from this church I used to go to in Georgia, and it was fine. Like like you mentioned last time, Scott, that they've got great biscuits, and I've had their biscuits before, like once. I don't think I mentioned that during the last round that I've been there, and I'm like, this is good. But to me, it's like, it's Church's. It's kind of KFC. It's kind of like, I'd say in the grand scheme of like the KFC versus Bojangles versus Popeyes versus Church's, I'd be like, Church's kind of a bit more forgettable. Like, it's not bad, but it's just, it's Church's. It's okay. So I that all being said, I haven't been able to fully experience their menu. Have you?
Mm-hmm. Not really. I've had their biscuit. I had that. I know I talked to you about the cinnamon raisin like icing.
Oh yeah.
Bun thing that they have that's really, really good. Like I had that, but I'm like, all I really had there was breakfast, and like it was really good. Like I would put Church's chicken right next to KFC in the taste bracket for sure.
Dang. Okay.
Like I think as far as fast food chicken goes, it's right up there near the top. I definitely put it over Popeyes personally, but could put that next to a bad experience I've had. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Church's chicken, but I have not had a ton of it. I just have had kind of the same thing each time I've been there, just because it was really good. I didn't feel like doing much else besides that.
I argue for Little Caesars because I don't have much faith in it.
Oh, Little Caesars. So I think my major point with Little Caesars, because the last time when we stepped into the bracket the first time, Little Caesars had to go up against Quiznos. And I argued for Little Caesars then because I was super anti-Quiznos more than I really even... My love of Little Caesars did not actually meet my hatred of Quiznos. So that's kind of where the argument ended. So for this one, I'm like, Little Caesars, I've had it. I think like slice for price, and I'm going to put that on a t-shirt for sure. Slice for price, like Little Caesars is right there.
That's good.
Like it's Little Caesars is right there. Like you pay like such a small amount of money for like what I would consider is like a pretty massive pizza. Like they're largest. They have an extra large, or if not even like I think they even have like a double XL pizza at Little Caesars for like $7. And granted, I mean it's probably just cheese, but it's huge. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like it's kind of Little Caesars kind of does the same thing for meals that KFC does. It's like, we will feed everyone in your house for $5, and they will not be found wanting afterward. You know what I mean? I think Little Caesars does a very... That's fine. You can shut up.
That's fine. You can shut up. All right.
I think Little Caesars does a great job at what they're doing. I like the taste. I think my main argument is like, I think they do a great job for what they're doing. They are so vastly different from Church's. It's hard to make an argument about who is better, but you stand them up side by side. I think I'd have to lean back towards Church's, because Little Caesars, when I choose pizza, because now that I actually have a decent income and I'm not in college anymore, I'm not going to go to Little Caesars for pizza.
Exactly, because you don't want to eat cardboard.
Well, I mean, I think they taste good, but they're not as good as other pizza places. So it's hard for me to choose, is this pizza better than that chicken? I don't really know.
It's not though. Like Little Caesars is straight up quantity over quality. And that's okay, because there are some folks who are in a place in life where they just want to get something cheap and digest it. And is it serviceable? I'm serious. Is it
they want to get something cheap that they can digest,
so they can consume it and turn it into stomach acid? But like honestly though, like I Little Caesars isn't like one where it's like, wow, look how like you're gonna get floored by how delicious and how the quality of this pizza. It's like, no, you're gonna order 17 pizzas for 13 cents or whatever. And for some people in college, like you said, college kids are gonna be more inclined to buy it. And I'll be real, even poorer families who are like, yeah, let's just do the $5 pizza because that's dinner and it'll get us through the night. I think there's a certain honor to that all, where it's like, I'm glad Little Caesars can help people out who are just looking for a quick, cheap reprieve from the day and just get some pizza. I think there's something like honorable.
Honorable?
Yeah.
Oh.
I really do. And but that being said, when it's like, if we're comparing like quality, what tastes better? I'm like, yeah, Church's tastes better like than Little Caesars.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like I said, it's a hard argument to make anyway. I think, again, I give credit where credit is due. Little Caesars does a great job for like the market that they are aiming for. They nailed it. But that market doesn't necessarily include me anymore. So I'm like, It's not something I'm shooting for actively. But when I was eating it, when I was buying Little Caesars, I loved them. I thought they did a great job. I thought they tasted good. They kept me from the trash cans.
Yeah, right, but if you got a choice, though, you're gonna pick not Little Caesars.
It's true. That's why it's like we are literally, well, metaphorically, but in a way, also literally comparing apples to oranges when it comes to comparing chicken to pizza.
That's true. That's very true. All right. Speaking of nothing, let's talk about this. We got
speaking of segue.
Speaking of segue, no, this one I'm really excited about because I feel like this is very unique, or not unique. This is one of the probably more measured and equal competitors on the list. So I'm glad they got teams.
That's true.
Wendy's versus Zaxby's.
Wendy's versus Zaxby's. Yeah, this will be fun. Do we need to flip the coin for this one, or do you actually have somebody you want to stand by?
If I had to pick, I'd pick Zaxby's.
Oh, so would I.
Okay, coin flipping time.
Zaxby's wins.
Zaxby's. There it is. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just both dive into it and discuss it, and let's see if we can actually give Wendy's a fight, because we just spoiled it to the audience where they know that we both we're
both wanting to stand by Zaxby's.
So Wendy's, I think, is like, when you compare it to the big fast food chains like McDonald's, Burger King, and whatnot, and Wendy's is kind of thrown that list. I'd say Wendy's is better than all the other two. Like,
oh yeah,
Wendy's got better customer service, better quality. The price is also very like competitive, if not better, than Burger King and McDonald's. And also the food tastes better. I mean, you get like, I'm gonna get myself a double stack with some cheese and nice cold. The Frosty, I had a Frosty a few days ago. I'm like, this is good.
Oh, so good, so good.
You get a bowl of chili, have a nice baked potato. Their salads,
and their chili's good too.
It's very good.
Their chili and their baked potato, all of that is really good. Their variety is great. I know, Lauren, I'm sorry to usurp the argument here, but I'm basically walking with you here hand in hand. So my wife's father, my father-in-law, he goes to Wendy's fairly often. He shouldn't, but he does it anyway, a little sneaky. But you know what he goes to Wendy's for? And this is just a testament to both their variety and their quality in that variety. He goes for their fish fillet sandwiches.
What? I swear, old folks are the folks. Old folks are the folks. No, old folks are the people who keep seafood restaurants afloat. No pun intended. So,
oh, absolutely intended.
Fully intended.
Intended from conception, sir.
But like, legitimately, I think old folks like to eat seafood compared to young folks. I think it's just something about it. I'm not sure
true. Yeah.
If it's taste adapting or what, or growing or maturing, whatever. But okay, he eats the fish fillet. Continue.
He eats the fish fillet and he swears by them. He loves them. He loves their fish sandwich. And then a testament as well to, because I mean, the only thing I ever really got when I was going to Wendy's, like when I go to Wendy's, is their burgers. I love their burgers. I just want their burger fry, and their Frosty. That's a lovely night for me.
Yeah.
Like all I want is like, I've never had their Baconator because
you don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
It's true.
Actually, story about that for lifeguarding. When you and I were lifeguarding, I got a fun one for that. You might have known this in any case. But I didn't usually get their fish or their chicken, not because I didn't think it looked good. I just like, that's just not why I go to Wendy's. I want a burger. Lauren, she would go to Wendy's for their chicken sandwiches. She loved them.
They're good.
Like we have one person who goes to Wendy's for their fish and swears by it. Another person who goes to Wendy's for their chicken who swears by it. And then I go for their burgers and I would swear by them in comparison to McDonald's and Burger King for sure. So I'm like, they have a great situation over there by far.
Swear by it. Damn.
Yes, absolutely. And then swear by it. So I think it's safe to say that Wendy's, had we actually argued it out, I think Wendy's would and does stand a solid chance, even though we ruined this bracket or this particular matchup by just where we stood. But the problem being, and I think you may agree, is that Zaxby's is just the place I would choose between the two.
Zaxby's? I mean, okay, Wendy's has a variety, so does Zaxby's. I think
they do. They just don't have a burger.
Yeah, and I think that, like, because Zaxby's is focusing 100% on chicken, which I think they blow Wendy's out of the water when it comes to chicken versus chicken, which makes sense because chicken isn't the main course for Wendy's. They got a really good chicken sandwich, but it's not Zaxby's good. Zaxby's has those crinkle fries, coleslaw, toast, really great sauce, a variety of hot sauce, some fantastic salads that are actually very high quality. So this is, again, comparing it all. Like, Zaxby's is more expensive. You will be paying more at Zaxby's, but you'll be having a better meal. Now, I think Wendy's does beat it out ultimately when it comes to variety, because it's like they've got chili and salads and chicken and fish and burgers, and Zaxby's is like, well, we got chicken and milkshakes and fries and cookies, but, like, there's a certain point. Oh, actually, it's worth mentioning, Zaxby's has, like, fried pickles and fried mushrooms, and I think that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, they're really good. I used to get them all the time.
I had no idea. I love fried pickles, and fried mushrooms, I'm sure, are a revelation. Yeah, dude,
they got some like this nice creamy, like tangy sauce with it. Zaxby's is one of the best when it comes to sauces, by the way. So
their Zax sauce is fantastic. I mean, if we don't make it, I honestly feel like we need to do, even if they don't come up in line, we need to do a comparison of Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A just for fun. That'll be like the add-on at the end of everything. Well, if it doesn't come up naturally.
Whenever we're visiting next, we'll go hit up both Chick-fil-A and Zaxby's in order our favorite dishes and then compare and contrast them both.
That sounds good. We'll do a whole episode on that.
We'll write it off at our taxes.
Yes, we'll do an ASMR of us eating the food in your ear, and then we'll talk about it.
Pass the orange sauce.
We'll whisper talk about it.
All right, we're giving this a Zaxby's then?
Yeah, I think Zaxby's definitely earns it. I think that they are, I think while they don't have the exact variety that Wendy's has, I think the quality is better.
Agreed. I agree. All right, last of the bracket here, as far as like this current round, Arby's versus Domino's. Call it.
Heads.
It came up tails. Though, do you have a preference?
You know what? I think I do. What's your preference? Just tell me yours, and I'll tell you where. And I'll tell you if that was right for me.
Well, my preference would be Arby's.
Oh, good. I was actually gonna go with Domino's anyway.
Okay, let's go.
So that sounds good. Begin, sir.
Okay, Arby's to me represents freedom. No, Arby's genuinely has some pretty great, like, unique pieces of food, where it's like you got the roast beef sandwich. I mean, they're the best in the fast food industry when it comes to roast beef, and it's something that other folks don't even attempt because it's so difficult to pull off. And they got those wonderful curly fries that are consistently good, nice and crispy, and good sauce too. The horsey sauce and the Arby's sauce. I mean, that stuff's delicious. My mouth is like watering just thinking about it. They got that Jamocha shake. That's like a good dessert item. They got some unique things with like the taters, the little like tater cheddar stuff, and the jalapeno poppers. They got some good food. I think they got some solid variety that's very unique to them. It's not like other people even trying this. It's like, no, we do jalapeno poppers. We do roast beef sandwiches. Good luck catching up with us. and also like the price is solid. It's a little bit more expensive than things like Wendy's or McDonald's, but rightfully so because you're paying for better food. And then they also have like those like, I'm not sure if you know about this, but they've got those like, look at our delicatessen, our deli menu where it's like a turkey on rye or a gyro.
Yeah, they're market fresh sandwiches.
That's it.
Isn't that what they call that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. You nailed it.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a pretty nifty like second arsenal pull right up. It's like, oh, we're not just done with our roast beef melts. Boom, we got your a good nice crisp lettuce and nice sliced up turkey. We're all out of turkey.
We got some sliced dirt to put on there.
I like turkey. But
turkey.
But I honestly like I think Arby's is just, it's one of those things where The Simpsons made fun of it. Like this episode where the kids are on the island and they're like, ew, there's the only thing we can eat is Arby's. And they're like, oh, gross. And I'm like, what's wrong with Arby's? Like, what the heck? I love Arby's. Yeah. I honestly think Arby's is a strong contender on this list, and they do very unique quality things. Now, Domino's, let's see what you got.
Domino's. So Domino's before, if you remember 1990s Domino's, that was not the pizza you would buy.
No.
But they revamped, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. I really can't remember how long ago. And suddenly they have become a phenomenal choice when it comes to pizza. Fast Italian eatery. Domino's Pizza, they have decided to, and many of you are going to know, but I want to talk about it anyway. They basically have surrounded their lovely pool of delicious sauce and cheese and meat with garlic bread crust. And it wraps it up in such a fantastic way. The Domino's pizza, even just your standard cheese, has come such a long way, and it tastes so, so good now. I've got to give it to them. I argue this point because, like, we do pizza night once a week at our house, just that way I don't have to cook. It's just super easy, and both my wife and I love pizza. So Domino's is pretty consistently the choice. Because she's super into Pizza Hut, and I am not. I like it fine, but I'm not. But Domino's is our Camp David. That's where we agree. We come to terms of peace and harmony and loving relationship with Domino's. I think everything they do, everything they're putting out there now is great. They've increased in their variety as well. Like, I just have to talk about their pizza. They've got pasta that's also really, really good. They give you, I believe they have like a pan cookie that they get you, or a pan brownie that's also really delicious. And they give you so many more options now, not just for the pizza, which is obviously it's options upon options when you're decorating your pizza with vegetables and meat. But you can also have a really nice pasta dish if you're not vibing specifically on the pizza when your rest of your family is. So I think that credits them a ton, and I think that's why they stand a really fighting chance against Arby's. Arby's has a fantastic variety. Absolutely. I do very much like Arby's. Arby's brings back like memory after memory of our days in high school and how fights have broken out about Arby's, and fruit was thrown because of Arby's. So people are passionate about it. But I find that Domino's for me it gets me there more than Arby's does. I think that ultimately you come away with Domino's just happier. I don't want to say you're more at peace, but I'm like, you eat pizza and you're in a relaxed state when you're eating pizza. Like you can't eat in a Domino's that I've seen. I have not been to a Domino's store where there's a place to sit and eat and congregate, but I'm like, you bring Domino's home. It's like, it feels good. You eat in your own comfort.
Drive-thrus for Arby's. You can bring it home too.
You can. That's fair. But like, you bring it back, you bring Arby's home and the grease is settling, the bag's getting a little wet. It's cooling off way faster. Like, you can get Domino's delivered and it comes to you basically right out of the oven because they put it in their special hot bag. Like, if you wait to eat your Arby's, it gets less delicious. Domino's the very next day is great. I think I sometimes like Domino's after, like, as breakfast better than dinner when it's cold and in the fridge.
That's an interesting point. Interesting that it's better the next day. All right, fine. I you know what? I feel like Domino's is one of the best of the pizza places in the industry. I still don't think it's perfect, but it sounds like you're pretty passionate about Domino's, and I'm gonna let it continue on, so I can see it. I want to see it smashed by Zaxby's.
Oh, well, that's just not nice. Oh yes, I'll let you walk through this door just because I want to see that hammer hit you in the face.
All right, do you want to move on with the next few rounds?
Yeah, where are we at time-wise? I mean, like, do we need to cut it? Because I'm having a great time over here.
I mean, we're not even hitting the hour mark yet, so let's keep going.
Yes, okay.
All right, it's Panera versus Dairy Queen.
Oh, gosh. Ooh, what a...
So now we're hitting that point now where we can start asking ourselves, do we want to side with something? So you've been the champion for Dairy Queen so far. Do you want to just take it and I'll take Panera?
Yeah, it only seems right. I've argued for Dairy Queen twice now. I need to just try to keep pushing it through.
I'll just tell you right now, just to summarize it, it's pretty straightforward. Panera's has so much better hot food than Dairy Queen by a long shot. Like, Dairy Queen's like, here's your burger and fries, and it's okay, I guess. I don't know. But Panera's like, a nice hot bowl of soup, a nice delicious sandwich, a nice crisp salad, and you got a big chocolate chip cookie, and maybe even like a loaf of bread and dipping your soup, and here's a nice sweet tea. And I think that Panera across the board, the only thing that Dairy Queen has over Panera are desserts. That's it. That is really it. Everything else, I think Panera wins, which therefore gives it the victory. Fight that.
Okay, gladly will. See, you keep telling me how you think Dairy Queen is bad on their hot food, but I cannot disagree more. I've done their chicken fingers, I've done their burgers, I've done their fries. You claim that it's bad or it's only okay, but it's not true. They're actually much better than you think. So the fun thing with Dairy Queens in particular is that you can have standalone dessert stores where it's just Dairy Queen, or you can have grill and chill Dairy Queen. When we were living with
Netflix.
My in-laws, when we were living with.
Yep.
Dang it. We were living with my in-laws for 3 years. We lived down the street from one of the Dairy Queen grill and chills. And I had, like, Lauren and I, especially while she was pregnant, like, that Dairy Queen grill and chill, we got their burgers and fries at least once a week because she was just craving it while she was pregnant. And they tasted so good. Like, I mean, it's realistically, they really would be the best argument to make would be comparing them to, your McDonald's, your Burger Kings, and your Wendy's, which I would say, honestly, I would put them above all three of those because I really think their hot food is much better than you're giving them credit for.
Yeah.
It's different with, okay, thank you. It's different with Panera because, the thing is, it's kind of like Panera. I made the argument on several other things where it's like, what are you going to feel better about having eaten afterward? What's your emotional state going to be after you leave a Dairy Queen versus a Panera? And in many cases, that usually would be like, do you feel like you hate yourself or do you feel good about yourself? The thing is, though, with Dairy Queen, I've walked out of Dairy Queens plenty of times, and I've never felt like it was truly a mistake because I felt so satisfied after I walked out of it. Panera, again, like, it's a wonderful choice. You're gonna definitely be eating healthier there. You do have a wider variety of options, certainly, but I don't feel that different walking out of either place. And I'm just talking about me personally and how much that affects my choosing restaurants. But I think Dairy Queen, to me, when I choose to go to a Dairy Queen, I go there. Sure, I go half the time, if not probably 75% of the time, I go there for their desserts because there's like nothing better, and that's what you think of. But when I have had a meal there, one, I've never been disappointed.
What's so good about their burgers? What makes their burgers worth a darn?
A darn. A darn. So, the thing is that they do, I mean, everybody probably claims like, oh, well, they're freshly cooked and blah, 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 never frozen. The thing is, though, every time I've had a Dairy Queen burger, it does really taste like it just came off. It's like it doesn't have any like shape. Like it's not like a perfect circle or a square. Like it doesn't look at all like it came from a metal press of some sort. Like it looks like a burger that has just been, it looks like somebody grabbed a bit of ground beef, made a burger, and then put it on the grill like you would do at home. It's got all the nice touches of seasoning and juices that are coming out of it that you would expect to get out of a really well, like properly grilled burger in somebody's backyard that you grew up with. It has all of the right aromas and textures. It just looks generally better than many other fast food burgers you're going to get. So I've never been disappointed about it. It's juicy in the right places. It's always cooked right. And it just tastes fresh. Their lettuce and tomato doesn't taste like it came right out of the freezer either. It tastes like it just got chopped right then for you. Granted, yeah, it was probably prep worked a couple hours ago, but it doesn't taste like it. So, and I think that's part of it. Panera's thing is like freshness and organicness. And that's something like, I don't necessarily think Dairy Queen is pushing the organic card as hard as Panera does. But that's not necessarily the market they're trying to tap into, which is like super green eating. But I would not say that freshness is even like, I don't think Panera is more fresh than even Dairy Queen. I think they both do a very good job on their freshness. So I don't feel bad leaving a Dairy Queen. I feel happy. I feel content. And then I have a Blizzard in my hand, so I feel even better.
All right. That sounds like a very... You know what? All right, Dairy Queen can have it. Because I really do. No, like I do like Panera, and I want the audience to think I'm just like rolling over and being okay, you can take it. Like I honestly like Panera, but there's not a single thing there where I'm like, this is exquisite. I think it's solid, like above average across the board, where it's like good sandwiches, good soup, but I've had better at other places. Dairy Queen is like, it dominates the dessert menu. But I still stand by that. I don't think their hot food's really that great, but it's been a while since I've had it. It's just that when I've had it in the past, I'm like, it's a burger, it's fries, it's a hot dog. But sounds like
you're a hot dog.
I'm gonna save it because I think the next round I'm really gonna bring the hammer back down Dairy Queen, regardless of who wins this next round, which is now Firehouse versus Jersey Mike's. I get Jersey Mike's.
That's fine. I haven't done Jersey Mike's enough to argue it fairly, but I've done Firehouse a lot, so I'm fine with that.
My friend Jersey Mike's is going to roll you. All right, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'm technically first on the bracket, so I'll be happy to go first.
Okay, let's go.
All right, we're finally comparing apples to apples here, folks. We've got a sandwich shop versus a sandwich shop. We got Firehouse versus Jersey Mike's. Now, I know it's Jersey. Not a lot of good things come out of Jersey. Their sandwiches probably aren't that much better. But you got to think about Firehouse. Now, Firehouse, the name alone makes you feel like you're getting something that's freshly toasted. Something that is going to be hot and warm and delicious just from the name. It's got fire in it. That's never related to anything except when you put it, if you reverse their name, and you take Firehouse and make it House Fire. Then fire's not so great. But talking about what
are you getting at?
I'm riffing. I'm just riffing, having a fun. So,
how dare you mock this challenge?
No, again, I've had Firehouse subs much more often than I've had Jersey Mike's, and I just have a hard time finding a better sandwich in the fast food realm than Firehouse. I think they do just a phenomenal job in everything they do. They have very great. All of their like unique sandwiches that they have are really, really good. They'll make the other ones like you. Not the other ones like you. They'll make the other ones for you. Sorry.
And that one looks like me.
They'll make other sandwiches that are off board and all that you don't have to only get on the menu. But the ones that are on the menu are all very unique. They're all really good, and they update special boards. They had a I think they were calling it like a Nashville barbecue sandwich on a ciabatta. Granted, I didn't get to have it because we just weren't eating Firehouse in that time frame, but I did see it advertised, and it looked really, really good. They had jalapenos, they had your barbecue chicken in there, or pulled pork. I think you could have either one. It looked fantastic. They have your kettle chips, just like you had argued about Jersey Mike's before. They've got your soda fountain. They really are like side by side. They're extremely, extremely similar. What I think Firehouse does, and again, it's been a while since I've been to Jersey Mike's. What I think steps Firehouse up, besides their donations to first responders, is they have a whole huge line of varying hot sauces to put on to your sandwich. Because one of those classic, like, you know, fireman Firehouse things is like I don't know if this is truly in existence, but for some reason in history, I feel like Firehouse Chili Cook-Off was always like a thing. I don't totally know. I've never been to one, but for some reason, chili and heat and hot sauces were always compared to firemen and firehouses. So they have this huge just shelf of dozens of hot sauces of varying spice levels, varying flavors. And it's just, you know, you just get to build a heat wave for yourself that you want to add to it. It just makes it really creative. It makes it a little more like, maybe I'd say perhaps giving too much into it, but, you know, you get to express your own creativity. Like, you get more involved in the sandwich making process. Cause yeah, you could add hot sauce, but I'm like, this is so many fun things to choose from, and you can test them out with like little taster cups and stuff like that. Like, they get you involved, and I think it just makes it a little more fun of an experience as well. So I'll stop there and let you begin your argument on Jersey Mike's, and then I'll pick back up if I feel the need.
My rebuttal. So I do applaud Firehouse for donation. That's cool. I do like their hot sauce bar. I think that's pretty great. They do that thing where they don't toast their subs, they steam it. And that's pretty cool. It makes the bread cool, actually. It's the opposite. It makes the bread nice and oh, this is nice and warm to the touch and fluffy. But Jersey Mike's to me is like, because Firehouse and Jersey Mike's, I think, are the two best like chain sandwich places across the country. And
yeah.
And let's just, again, throw it out there. Local places will always be the best because they cost more, but they also like take more time to do the quality stuff. That being said, I think Jersey Mike's hit a very good like middle ground where it's like we know how to make great food and also like standardize it across all of our locations. Where it's like you have a nice salad, a nice sliced turkey. You know, here's the little like turkey slicer, and we'll slice this up for you. And I guess something that gives them a pretty big edge to me is that they have that stove in the back where they can like grill up like Philly cheesesteaks, or they can do that with like grilled meats and make hot subs. And that gives them an extra like arrow in the quiver compared to Firehouse, where it's like Firehouse is like, well, it's cold cuts getting steamed, versus Jersey Mike's where it's like, we have cold cuts, can't steam it, we can toast it, but we can also like take some turkey or roast beef and put some sauce on it and make you a Philly cheesesteak or a meatball sub or some hot subs for you. And that gives them, I think, a leg up on Firehouse. Now, Firehouse is pretty great, and they do have a lot in common with Jersey Mike's, but I think Jersey Mike's with their hot subs give them that little bit of an advantage to push them through.
Yeah, I would say yes, but the thing is, and I don't know how long it's been since you've gone to a Firehouse, but they also have that a grill, not that same one per se, because they do saute up onions and cook onions and stuff for you, so they do actually make a Philly cheesesteak there. So they can do it. I haven't had their Philly cheesesteak, admittedly, so I can't say it's...
See, I have had...
this, that, or the other, or Jersey Mike's, but you're talking about the leg up of the grill. They do have it, so you can't... That's going to be a hard argument to make, because it's not just cold cuts heated through their steaming process. Like, they cook those vegetables for you before they put them on your sub, if that's what you want. They cut up that whatever kind of meat is in a Philly cheesesteak. I guess the steak.
Is this come down to where, like, I've been to Firehouse and I have enjoyed it, but like me biting into a Jersey Mike's sub, I'm like, yeah, this just tastes better. So like, I'll leave it to you, because if you truly feel passionate about Firehouse, because like I will stand by Jersey Mike's. I think they've, and especially the location I've been to, they've won me over. I'm talking about customer service that actually might even surpass Chick-fil-A. And that being said, at that particular location, so yeah. I've been to the Jersey Mike's where it's just standard customer service, which is still like of satisfaction to me. But the Jersey Mike's, I mean, they're super great to me, and maybe I'm just, this is more of a testament to this one single location and how they conduct themselves, because I think they're just fantastic. But at the same time, like, I've never left Jersey Mike's upset. I'm like, this is a good sandwich, or this is a nice hot sub, or this is a good salad, and you know, I got my bag of salt and vinegar kettle chips and a nice big chocolate brownie, or a nice fresh dill pickle that's been not diced up, but that's been sliced up for me to, you know, crunch on while I'm eating my sandwich. I love Jersey Mike's. I really do. And I think Firehouse is great. It's better than Which Wich. It's better than Subway by a long shot. But I think in the competition of sandwich shops, I think Jersey Mike's just pulls out just enough ahead with their arsenal to win it over Firehouse, personally.
Okay. I'm gonna concede to Jersey Mike's then. It sounds like you are more passionate about Jersey Mike's than I will be about Firehouse, because admittedly, the Firehouse experience that I receive most often is adequate, but it's not above, not as far as food quality, but as far as like employee mood. Like, I've been to the same Firehouse plenty of times, and they're never rude, but they, you know, they're mostly teenagers that are just making that paycheck, so they don't give a crap about me when I walk in. No matter how many times they see my same face, they don't remember me. They don't express any extra energy when I walk in. So I'm like, the fact that you're receiving that from Jersey Mike's, even if it's at one location, it means that it's potentially at all the other locations. You might get that same energy level. So I'm going to say Jersey Mike's can take this one, because it sounds like you just get a all-around better experience out of just being there, being you, and being in that place.
Well, thank you. It is
Jersey Mike's.
I win. You heard it here, folks. Scott lost.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that should make it interesting next round. But Dairy Queen and Jersey Mike's then. All right. Moving on to the next bracket. I mean, okay, Scott, do you want to just be real here and just say Chick-fil-A gets it?
Who are we facing up again here? I just lost track.
It's Chick-fil-A versus Churches.
Oh God, yeah. Sorry. Bye Churches. You're out.
Sorry, Churches. You put up a valiant fight, but like, I just want to let folks know, like, Chick-fil-A is a monster on this list, and we're not going to BS ourselves. Like, a shout out to Churches for doing what they do for cooking, because you mentioned that they've got those cinnamon raisins, or what was it now, the breakfast thing you say you enjoyed?
Yeah, it's like the cinnamon roll with raisins and icing and stuff. It's terrible for you. It's like it's their version of like a Cinnabon.
Well, good on them for doing that, but like in the compared to the monster that's Chick-fil-A, it's like, good luck. So
yeah. All
right, Zaxby's versus Domino's. You want to take Domino's? I'll take Zaxby's.
Yeah, sounds only fair.
All
Domino's fight yet again. This is gonna be.
This is when I'm gonna start throwing more shade at you. Okay.
Feel free. Just go ahead and start.
Domino's, okay, it's cool. You know, they got pizza, and it's good. It's solid pizza. I mean, compared to local places, of course, as always, locals will always beat them out. But Domino's, I give them credit for getting their act together back in the day. Their pizza is much better than what it once was, so that's, at least they're aware of needing to improve, because that was a big business decision. If someone's like, do you want Domino's or Papa John's or Pizza Hut or Little Caesars? I go, Domino's. Domino's, followed by Papa John's, followed by Pizza Hut, followed by Little Caesars. That's the order I go in. But here's the thing. This is where I start to hit the brakes. Their hot wings, Their little chicken bites, Their desserts, Their salads, gross. Their garlic bread, It's just, everything else is just to me. It's like, oh, it's just, you know, it's a corporate pizza restaurant, and the only thing they got going for them is pizza is solid, and that's above average even, and that's it. Everything else from Domino's, there's nothing outstanding. It's all average or below average compared to Zaxby's, which is like, bam, I want to smack down this 6-piece chicken finger with crinkle fries, nice toast and coleslaw, and boom, there's a cake milkshake. Eat that and tell me which one's better.
Okay, I am cast underneath all the shade.
Came
right
out
now.
swinging.
You did. I congratulate that effort. I mean, I just made almost every argument I can make with Domino's in the last roundup against Arby's. I think it's better than just okay pizza. I think they do a great job. I've had some local chains that personally they could take a lesson from Domino's. I think there's some locals out there that I've been to some that are definitely far superior, but there's just some other ones that I'm just kind of like, actually, Domino's.
Do you think Domino's is better than Johnny's?
Actually, I do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Johnny's Pizza. This is Johnny's Pizza, and I know this isn't part of the argument, but I'm going to put it in there anyway. Johnny's Pizza is really good, but it's really expensive, and it's actually in entirety, it does taste good, but especially after how long I worked at Johnny's Pizza, it's really not as good as Domino's is now. When I worked at Johnny's, I definitely would have eaten Johnny's Pizza over Domino's for sure. Because even at that time, I think Domino's was still just getting their act together again. But now Johnny's Pizza is really good, but like their crust is always wanting. I like, if I don't eat the crust of a pizza, then there's something just not as good. It's like there's something off. Like, I love the crust of pizza. So if I don't eat it, if I find it wanting, then that's a bad sign. Domino's, I don't feel that way at all. So I actually prefer Domino's over Johnny's. But then again, Johnny's isn't really local. It's just a smaller chain. So, now getting back to the argument at hand here. I got to say, I mean, you and I both like Zaxby's. We've established that already. And you and I both like Domino's. We've established that. But when we do compare them side by side, I think the strength of Domino's comes in portions. I think that the thing with Zaxby's, and while it is so delicious, you're paying a premium price for just your meal. Granted, I mean, like, if you spend almost $20 at Zaxby's, you could walk away with like 2 of their really good salads, and you'll feed you and whoever you bought that other salad for. But you spend $20 at Domino's, you're going to come up with like 2 large pizzas, and they're going to be really good pizzas, and you're going to be able to eat that. You're going to be able to eat that for like 2 days. They run specials. Like, Domino's was so generous with their specials. They make it so ready for you to come in and get something without breaking, without having to like hurt, or without having to just like, well, I guess we're not getting you in school today, Jimmy. Let's get pizza. Let's get these Zaxby's.
I'm sorry, but this is where I speak out against you. Where it's like, okay, yeah, Domino's is cheaper. Okay, it's because it's cheaper ingredients. It's bread, sauce, and cheese. Like, woo. And maybe,
but they do it well. You don't.
So
you might not.
Scott, listen. All right, no, shut your whore mouth. I was gonna say though, it's like, I mean, yeah, that you can pull the money argument where it's like, well, you get 2 pizzas for the price of a Chick-fil-A meal. It's like, well, great. Like, it's just subpar pizza. Like, it's okay. Like, it's better than Pizza Hut and Papa John's. Okay, cool. But, like, it's pizza. Pizza inherently is a cheaper thing to make compared to, I mean, look at it. It's this beautiful 6-piece chicken, nice tenders. It's grilled to perfection, or fried to perfection, and toast, and these crinkle fries being dipped in beautiful Zax sauce. And I'm like, bro, quality-wise, Zaxby's got Domino's beat handedly. You can't even lie to me about that. The only thing you've got on your side is price and logistics of pizza lasting for days afterwards. Oh.
No, that's not necessarily true.
Yes,
What you just described, you just described a chicken finger meal What is that? It's fried chicken and fries. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying, like, you said that, oh well, Domino's is so cheap and easy to make. It's why it's so affordable. I'm like, yeah, but they have chicken too, and like they pay for, you can get chicken on your pizza. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, like
the
three
price
pieces.
point, the expense of the company is probably not that far off, but Zaxby's is profiting higher on that similar price.
No,
I'm like, are they have a great product and it tastes really good, and it does taste very good, but is it really, are they just charging more than they have to?
No, I think
I don't know.
I think Zaxby's has higher quality ingredients, which is why they have to increase their cost, because you're paying for better. Versus Domino's, where it's like, we got the chicken in the back alley, so
back alley chicken. We found this chicken on the side of the road and we cut it up and threw it on your pizza.
It fell off a truck, so we're gonna eat it. I will give props to Domino's for it's more, its strengths lie more in being more economic. Like, it's cheaper. And yeah, like, you can bring
I don't like that word, by the way, cheaper. Cheaper makes it sound like it's
worse.
Also cheap, bad, worse food.
You heard it here, folks.
Affordable.
Scott said it, not me. He said
it's more affordable. Cheaper is not the right word to describe Domino's.
You're right. I'm sorry. So Domino's is definitely cheaper than.
Oh God.
No, genuinely though, like, I think Zaxby's has its broader range of variety with sandwiches and plates, and like, yes, it's just chicken, all right, but pizza is just pizza as well. Like, at that point you're just switching out toppings, but it's still pizza. I personally think that Domino's, like, this comes down to a battle of quantity versus quality, and I will stand by quality because I think Zaxby's just tastes better. If someone's like, hey, what do you want to do tonight? I want Zaxby's. I want to get a nice Zaxby's meal. I'll feel satisfied with that. Versus, oh, here's 2 slices of Domino's pizza. It costs 3 pennies. Not even 3 pennies. How come you can go on Domino's.com and it's like the $5.99? Pick 2 things for $5.99, and when you're done crunching the numbers, it's like, that'll be $30, please. And I was like, how'd that happen? So, yeah, there are some moments where I feel like even with Domino's delivery being cheap, quote unquote, it's still expensive.
Oh no, their delivery is not cheap. No, I never get delivery because it's not that I hate tipping, but I'm like, it gets real expensive when they start doing delivery. I always pick up. So that's where Domino's is a little annoying, and almost every pizza chain. It's like, guys, I have sympathy for the driver, but good Lord, how much are you really going to charge for that delivery fee?
Yeah. Well,
you're going out delivering other pizzas anyway. Why isn't this like an Uber share ride for pizzas? It's like,
Uber.
Why don't we just split this delivery fee between the 3 houses that you're going to?
Pizza sharing rides. I like that. I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
Well, I'll cast my vote to Zaxby's. I genuinely.
I know you will. Zaxby's is truly delicious. The funny thing is, though, you mentioned that conversation, that fake conversation of like, what do you want to eat? Well, you have one person saying, I want Zaxby's. The other person in that conversation is like, I would too, but I can't afford it.
Well, then go home.
But what we can't afford is a lovely, huge Domino's pizza.
I'm sorry you can't splurge on a $3 more expensive meal. Jeez.
All right, I am going to say that I hate you.
Well, that's a given.
Zaxby's, I think I'm going to let Zaxby's have this. I think you are generally more passionate about Zaxby's than I truly am about Domino's. I think Domino's is great. And again, it goes, if you are comparing quality to quantity, I personally do choose quality over it. I would like to say I wish Zaxby's was not quite the price that it is, but it does not normally stop me from purchasing it, like, all the time. Sometimes I'm like, crap, that's an expensive salad. But I'm gonna let Zaxby's have this one because it is a very good restaurant. I like both, but I do love pizza, but it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. It's hard to compare. It's like, well, they have great chicken, Well, they don't sell pizza, so we can't compare their pizza. Zaxby's
That's
and
fair.
Domino's don't sell chicken wings, and they are not as good as Zaxby's chicken wings.
They are not even close. So here's the just again props. Let's looking back on the ones who couldn't make it so far in our contest.
The RIP list.
Yeah, the RIP list. Like Domino's again. I think they're the best of the pizza chains. I think that when it comes to the chicken chains, that personally I think Popeyes is the best. But like they obviously got snuffed out. Props to things like Wendy's. Props to things like, gosh, what else we got here? There's some on this list where we're like, like who cares? Long John's lol. Like Long John's versus Chick-fil-A was just so unfair to Long John's. It didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here's our semifinal list. We've got Dairy Queen versus Jersey Mike's, and then we got Chick-fil-A versus Zaxby's. That's gonna be probably.
Oh, there it is.
That's the one that I feel like is gonna be the big one.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to figure out a way to. I'm gonna have to actually go eat all 4 of these places.
Do you want to
properly compare them?
Do you want to do that? We can stop the podcast for now and do the last episode. It can be the semifinals and the finals.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we need to go eat those items.
Yeah, let's do it
from these places to really do it, because I'm like, what was the list again? We're comparing Chick-fil-A to Zaxby's. So I'm like, I need to actually do that. I've had both not that long ago, but I just had Chick-fil-A this morning, so I'm just kind of like
biased.
Chick-fil-A is amazing. Yeah, I'm biased. I'm like, I need to have them back to back. Same thing for Jersey Mike's and Dairy Queen. I'm like, I need to have them back to back because like I have not had a Jersey Mike's in a long time.
Make another schedule. Let me get my little reminders here. Schedule, BvG food report. Honestly, I will do this. I will go to Dairy Queen and then Jersey Mike's, then Chick-fil-A, and then Zaxby's, and I'll get and I will compare it. Like, yeah,
this is what we need to do though. We need to find a common ground. We need to be ordering. You and I need to be ordering the same thing at each of these places.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's get back to me. Like, we'll text each other and find some meals that we want to like partake in, and we'll eat them, and then we'll compare and contrast. We will do this semifinal stuff as best as we can, as unbiased as we can, and also I'll do some more research into the actual companies and see what they stand for, because I might be surprised where it's like, oh, Dairy Queen supports cancer foundations or whatever, or Jersey Mike's, the founder saved kittens from a tree that was on fire.
Jersey Mike's supports cancer.
No, why Jersey? Why Mike? But yeah, this would be a good place to stop for now, and then we'll kick it forward next week. This will be fun. This is a 3-parter. I love it.
Yes.
Cool. All right, Scott. Anything you want to say before we bounce out?
As always, let us know how we failed. Let us know how we were victorious. Tell us where we suck. That's the same thing. Just let us know what you guys think. We want to know if you felt differently than we do. We want to know if maybe we failed to put something in the list that we totally should have. I absolutely want to know if somebody is passionate about Long John Silver's.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Dude, Scott, I wanted to share this with you. So there was so the folks who are listening to the video right now, as of right now, I'm on Twitter hiatus. I'm just taking a break because it's just been overwhelming as of late. But before I left it, there was a post from this one Twitter account where it's like, here's the favorite fast food restaurant chain for each respective state throughout the country. And my gosh, it couldn't have been more wrong. Where it had like, I swear, this thing was sponsored by a company called Mod Pizza, M-O-D Pizza.
Mod Pizza? I know Mod Pizza.
Well,
there's one down here. I've been there.
Well, they're like the Georgians prefer Mod Pizza. A good chunk of the Midwest prefers Mod Pizza. A good chunk of the Northeast I'm like, bro. No, there's no way on God's green earth that Georgians would pick anything over Chick-fil-A at all. Like maybe Waffle House, maybe.
Oh my God, what a biased report! And they sponsored the report. Lee said,
"Oh, absolutely, they have to." I was looking. There are people in the comments on the tweet being like, "I've never even heard of Mod Pizza, and I've lived in Georgia for 20 years."
Yeah, that's seriously. Yeah, I've been to. They are good. But yeah, I would not. I mean, like if you're talking about all around foods, all around restaurants. Absolutely. I mean, you're not a Georgia resident now, but you and I are both Georgia boys. I'm like, absolutely Chick-fil-A over my pizza.
Dude, you'll get a kick out of this. There's another one that Paleo posted to me a few days ago, where it was from Barstool Sports, and it's like America's favorite food chains. Again, I don't trust it. I think it's false because it has Georgia as KFC as their favorite, and then it has Kentucky as Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, reverse it.
Somebody just typed it out.
Yeah,
Somebody just typed it wrong.
Dude, they have Dave & Buster's for Florida. And I'm like, what are you on about? Dave & Buster's isn't even, I mean, it's got a restaurant. It's good. Like, it's solid. But, like, who's like, let's go get some dinner. Let's go to Dave & Buster's for a quick dinner. It's like, you don't go to Dave & Buster's for a dinner, like, exclusively. You go there to play games and then you get dinner. So,
yeah.
That was weird to me. Like, here, I'll link the list. Because, like,
please do.
Here. Like, I was laughing because I was like, wow. I feel bad for Wisconsin because they had, where's the Discord here? Here, you get a kick out of this. There we go. Minnesota has Chuck E. Cheese listed as its favorite place. And I'm like, that is an injustice.
So does Illinois?
What? You got is it Missouri near it, I think? I believe so. Yeah, you get Missouri. Long John Silver's for Tennessee. Lol.
No. Oh, man. So there they are.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of get Whataburger for Texas.
Oh, that one makes sense.
That one makes sense.
In-N-Out should be for California, not everything outside of it. Right? Dude, Rainforest Cafe for Colorado? What?
Who made... There's no way this is all right. Absolutely no way. Of course, North and South Dakota. I think somebody did this as a joke. North Dakota is Pizza Hut. South Dakota happens to be Domino's, the biggest competitors.
Well, I saw another one where it's like state's favorite movies, and it had like Bugs Life for North Dakota and Ants for South Dakota. I'm like, okay, you guys are just now yanking our chain. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
The whole state of Pennsylvania prefers Subway. Nobody prefers Subway.
Dude, can you imagine the fury that New Yorkers feel right now that they have Sbarro or whatever it listed? Like, come on.
Oh my gosh.
What's okay? I see.
There's a second Long John Silver's up in Maine.
Oh my god, that's another.
That one actually makes more sense because they're so heavy with lobster stuff. So my brother-in-law, he had a buddy who's from Maine. When he was in school in Ohio, he met a friend of his who was from Maine, and he went up to Maine with him one time. And they serve Maine is lobster, like they are the lobster state. So like he went to a McDonald's and had a lobster roll sandwich, and he said it was amazing.
Wow!
So I'm like, it makes sense to me that Long John Silver's would be up in Maine because they are seafood as much, like they are the lobster place. So I'm like, I'll bet Long John Silver's makes some kind of lobster dish that would like just a pure full on panty dropper.
So you got like what's the state below Michigan? Because I see that Michigan is Jollibee. Never heard of that. Is that
Michigan?
Iowa?
There's Indiana is the one that says Blimpies, and then Ohio is Molly's.
That's so weird.
I can't read it really.
I don't get it. I really don't. Like,
is Hawaii Burger King?
Yes. Right. I bet this is a very biased list that's fake. Because like, there's some things I can see, but other ones where I'm like, nope, you're just making things up. Like, I would genuinely like to know the truth. Because if someone's like, no, this is the truth. We tested over. We asked over 20,000 people in each state, and this is the results. I'd be like, this is probably biased and it skews in certain directions, but looking at this right now, I'm like, Rainforest Cafe in Colorado, like, come on.
And are you aware of what Tim Hortons is?
It's a Canadian like Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Exactly right. So where do you see is loving Dunkin' Donuts, and then where is Tim Hortons? It's like it doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't know. Maybe Oklahoma does have some Tim Hortons, but I'm like, they are like a Canadian-based restaurant. Like they're like exclusively on the Canadian border of the United States. Like I don't even know how it's in Oklahoma.
I know that when it comes to like local things, like they've got Olive Garden listed for Jersey, but I know that Jersey people worship diners. Like apparently diners are like a way of life for Jersey people. So
Yeah,
it almost seems insulting to have Olive Garden listed. But
they probably are insulted. I mean, it makes, and the fact that they're brown, it just looks like the poop that Olive Garden is.
Well, on that note, Scott, let's break it up for this evening, and we'll be back with episode 3, which we will be back with. This is a 3-parter, apparently, but not by design. But we will eat our food and report in and have the semifinals and the finals.
This is going to be science.
Let's do it, bro. All right. See you, folks.
Bye.